Time for tonight's rewrite. Today, Sarah Palin said, "Like many, I've spent the past few days reflecting on what happened and praying for guidance." Her prayers were not answered, leaving her obviously without divine guidance about what to say today. Instead, she sunk into a self-involved, defensive, inappropriate ramble about, well, I guess it was supposed to be about the Tucson massacre. Left to her own devices, she turned, where else, to Ronald Reagan.
President Reagan said, "We must reject the idea that every time a law is broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker."
No one has ever told Sarah Palin that Ronald Reagan, like most politicians, said some very silly things. Among them, the quote she cited. We must reject the idea that every time a law is broken, society is guilty rather than the lawbreaker. Every time? Who has ever had that idea? Who has ever said that every time a law is broken, society is guilty and not the lawbreaker? No one. Reagan said this in his second year as governor, the year after he had raised taxes as governor. Something else Sarah Palin doesn't know about Ronald Reagan. In his second year as governor, Reagan was not yet a deeper thinker than Sarah Palin in her second year as governor. But he didn't quit his governorship and matured as a politician to the point where he could do something that Sarah Palin never will, win the presidency. Sarah Palin's scripted performance today has been wisely criticized by everyone from Charles Krauthammer to Perez Hilton, two people who have never before found a single point of agreement. Sarah Palin was echoed today by her Tea Party friend Sharon Engel, who issued her own self-involved defensive statement about the Tucson massacre. Engel said, quote, "The despicable act in Tucson is a horrifying and senseless tragedy and should be condemned as a single act of violence by a single unstable individual." She apparently doesn't realize that we have all already condemned it as such. Palin leveled a cold-eyed outrage at, quote, "people attempting to apportion blame for this terrible event." Palin's self-defense seems aimed at this woman.
We're on Sarah Palin's targeted list, but the thing is that the way that she has it depicted has the crosshairs of a gun sight over our district. And when people do that, they've got to realize there's consequences to that action.
On Saturday, she fell into the crosshairs of a gun that sent a 22-cent bullet into the back of her head, exiting over her left eye. She is, therefore, unable to respond to Sarah Palin.